Hey, I'm talking to you. Yes, the person watching this video.
Yo.
What's up?
Imagine, you have 100 million euros in your pocket. With that money, you could buy a small island, establish a foundation that would provide for thousands of people for life, or at least ensure your family lives like kings for 7 generations. But no, you went and invested that money in someone who, if you invited them to a football match on a Sunday morning, would say, "My back hurts. Welcome to Sportx Radar." Today we're looking at the most expensive, most bubble, and most frustrating 10 years in football history. This list isn't just about failure. Here we'll witness the art of disappointment, how money just puff into thin air. Sit back, grab your tea and see who the clubs handed over the keys to their coffers to. Let's begin. 1. Eden Hazard, Real Madrid's most expensive holiday. We start the list with number 1, the master of hamburgers, Eden Hazard. Do you remember Hazard at Chelsea? The man played cat and mouse with Premier League defenders. When he had the ball at his feet, there would be an electric charge in the stadium. Opponents would think, "Oh no, he's coming again!" That was the problem. The guy was winning matches single-handedly. Then Real Madrid came along, slamming a whopping 115 million euros on the table. "Here's our new Ronaldo," they said. What did Hazard do? He arrived at the first training camp 5 kilos overweight. You know how we eat so much during holidays that our pants buttons don't close? That's how he was after a transfer worth over 100 million. In his 4 years in Madrid, the number of goals he scored was probably less than the number of hamburgers he ate. Constantly injured, constantly out of form. He played so little that when Real Madrid lifted the Champions League trophy, Hazard didn't even have a sweat stain on him. Madrid fans stopped asking, "When will Hazard return?" and started saying, "Was Hazard still with us?" A complete disappointment, a complete lesson in professionalism, but in reverse. 2. Philippe Coutinho. Where did Barcelona's Neymar money go? The problem. Let's talk about Philippe Coutinho. When he was at Liverpool, we'd all stand up when he pulled the ball to his left and scored from 30 meters out. Jurgen Klopp told him, "Don't go, we'll erect a statue of you here. You'll be just an ordinary person there." But did Philippe listen? 135 million euros plus bonuses. It was as if Barcelona was looking for a place to burn the money they got from Neymar. Coutinho arrived at no camp, and it was as if those magical feet had been stuck at Liverpool's customs. He couldn't pass, he couldn't take those famous shots. Barcelona saw it wasn't working, so they loaned him to Bayern Munich. Shall I tell you the most tragicomic part? In that historic Champions League match where they lost 8-2 to Barcelona, he came on as a substitute and scored 2 goals and provided 1 assist. He disgraced his own club. Barcelona was still paying him in installments. At that time, imagine a transfer that, both for you. It's not only useless, but when it goes to someone else, it comes back and slaps you in the face. The word balloon is an understatement. It's practically an atomic bomb. Then Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea, betrayal or love? Romelu Lukaku. The football world's fickle lover who constantly returns to his ex-girlfriend, but each time the fight gets bigger. When Chelsea bought him from Inter for a whopping 113 million euros in the summer of 2021, we said, okay, the missing piece is complete. At Inter, under Conte, he had become a beast, knocking down everything in his path. But when he arrived in London, it was as if he had just learned football. He gave an interview during the break saying, "I actually miss Inter, and I don't like Chelsea's system." Damn, they paid you 113 million, and before the installments are even finished, you're saying, "I'm going back to my ex-girlfriend." The fans went crazy, the coach went crazy. His performance on the field? He did almost nothing but kick the ball around in front of the goal. He went down in history as Chelsea's most expensive mistake. They bought him, and for a year. Then they signed him on loan for almost nothing. Lukaku's transfer history isn't like a stock market graph, it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, but Chelsea always catches him when he's at his lowest point. 4. Paul Pogba, Manchester United's 100 million Instagram star. Paul Pogba. Manchester United, losing him for free from their youth academy and then buying him back for $105 million is already a prime example of vision. While at Juventus, Pogba was like an orchestra conductor in midfield. His haircut, his dances, his goals. He came to Manchester saying, "I'm coming home," but it was as if he found no one there. Do you know what we debated for 6 years? Not Pogba's talent, but what colour hair he would wear that week. One match a world star, then 5 matches a ghost on the pitch. Injuries, manager controversies, disagreements with the team. While United fans waited every week thinking, "Come on, Pogba will win the match this week," Pogba was sharing a new dance video on Instagram. What happened in the end? He went to Juventus for free again. United lost $100 million. He spent it, buying nothing but hype for 6 years. We can call it the most expensive promotional video in football history. 5. Nicolas Pepe, Arsenal's hidden record. Arsenal fans are generally thrifty, but in 2019 they did something crazy and gave €80 million to Lille for Nicolas Pepe. Everyone said, "Is the new Henry coming?" Pepe came, but what a player he is. A man who, when he gets the ball at his feet, just spins around himself, and when he sees the goal, he shoots wildly. The winger who played brilliantly at Lille was gone, replaced by someone who looked like a driver going the wrong way on the highway. The fans were patient, they waited, but nothing. Pepe's most memorable moment in his Arsenal career was probably that expensive video taken on the day he was transferred. And then what happened? A journey that led all the way to Trabzonspor. Arsenal burned that 80 million to ashes chasing a dream. Now, when Pepe is mentioned, Arsenal fans just avert their eyes. 6. Antony, Erik ten Hag's expensive hobby. And finally, Manchester United's latest bombshell, Antony. When he was bought from Ajax for €95 million, we all stopped and thought, 95 million? Do you know Antony's greatest talent? Spinning 360 degrees with the ball. Yes, he can do it. But the problem is, when he does this, the game doesn't flow. There are no goals, no assists. He just spins. They practically bought a $95 million fidget spinner. Premier League defenders have figured him out now. They know he only has a left foot. He only uses his right foot for walking. He's already earned the bubble label as one of the biggest panic transfers in United history. Conclusion: money isn't everything, but it's a lot. Yes, folks, as you can see, talent doesn't always speak on the pitch. Sometimes it's just numbers and bursting bubbles. These players we've mentioned were superheroes before their transfers, but their capes fell off the moment they walked through the doors of their new clubs. So, what's your opinion on the biggest bubble transfer of the last 10 years? Is there anyone you can't forget? Let's debate in the comments. That's all from Sportx Radar for today. See you in the next video. Stay with football and don't waste your money.